in bringing the truth to this whole situation. He really has. He's done a tremendous job. He's opened up some eyes, but we can be able to see and say, wow, it didn't happen like that. He was the investigator in the case. If anybody know anything about it, he's the one knows. He talked to the people over in the community. They shared with him. They told him. He knows stuff that the police chief don't know. We asked him the other day in the meeting. I asked him about the video. He said he ain't seen it. Hell, I asked him about the march thing. He said he didn't know nothing about it. I knew he was lying. I'm just gonna tell you like it. That's just how I am. Okay? This man right here, he knows. Eric Evans. Tell it all.
Tell it all.
Tell it all.
Other side here.
Can you hear me now? Okay. Okay. Hoorah, simplified. Okay, so you know, when I was asked to come up here and speak today, you know, it was going through my head. It was going through my head on what I was going to talk about. And Bridget mentioned it about some good police officers. Now, anybody who knows me knows that I am for a couple of things. And one is justice. I like the police. I'm not going to say that I don't. Every time there's a fallen police officer's motorcycle ride, I am there. And these 6 buttons, badges around my heart, prove that. But also what you see on my chest is my Marine Corps emblem and the cross. Because I am for justice. What I'm not for is injustice.
Yes, sir.
What I'm not for is conspiracy. What I'm not for is corruption.
That's right.
What I'm not for is cover-up.
Yeah. Explain.
All of those things is what you have and what I found in the Anthony Hill investigation.
Absolutely.
So that means I am not for Police Officer Robert Olson. I am not for Dr. Cedric Alexander saying that Anthony Hill charged Officer Olson. See, that sets the conspiracy and the cover-up, because that did not happen. And people ask, well, Eric, how do you know? Because Eric, the investigator, knocked on door to door in that apartment complex. I went out there and talked to the people. I don't speak an iota of Spanish, but I found a young lady who speaks Spanish and English, and she followed me around as my translator. So I did my due diligence. I took my investigation to DeKalb County because I knew that they didn't do the same thing. I met with the chief of DeKalb County District Attorney's office, sat down in her office and said, okay, something is wrong here. What is going on with the arrest of Police Officer Olson? Then I met with one of the investigators. They did not even start the investigation. This was 3 weeks ago.
Wow.
This was 3 weeks ago. The GBI completed their investigation 3 months ago.
Yes.
And nothing has been released and nothing has been said. Again, conspiracy and cover-up.
Yes.
Conspiracy and cover-up.
Yes.
So I'm going to tell you about my meeting with the investigator. When I met with him and went over my case, he was shocked. He was shocked because they didn't have the information that I found. Whereas they had 2 witnesses, I had 7.
All right.
Every one of my witnesses that I found, without a doubt, said the exact same thing. Anthony Hill was on the ground in a praying position when Police Officer Olson pulled up. I went out there and measured it, 183 feet, where Police Officer Olson saw Anthony Hill. Anthony Hill got up, he ran towards Police Officer Olson in a sigh of relief. He was non-violent, he was non-threatening. before Anthony Hill reached Officer Olson got out of his car, and the first thing that he did was drew his firearm. This is before he said 2 words, anything to Anthony Hill. And the 2 words that he said was stop. All witnesses said Anthony Hill walked towards Police Officer Olson with his hands out and extended. Like this. That's surrender. The police officer didn't say, hey, are you okay? Hey, what's wrong with you? Officer Olson just pulled his weapon out, or already had it out, and fired 2 times, killing Anthony Hill. Killing Anthony Hill, murder. So let's look at this. 7-year veteran on the police force. He just finished, because I did my research on him, a hand-to-hand type of physical combat training. He was wearing a taser. He was wearing an aspartame. He had pepper spray. He immediately went to deadly force. And anybody who knows the law, there has to be an escalation of force before you can immediately go to deadly force.
Right. Amen.
That didn't happen. The police officer had to, at one point, try to effect an arrest before he went to deadly force. That didn't happen. Just saying stop doesn't affect an arrest. So all of these things is what I found out in the investigation on the murder, and that's what it is. The murder of Anthony Hill. Anthony Hill, in my eyes, was a hero. I've said it once and I'll say it again. He gave his life to this country.
Yes.
Right? He grew up in the South, a Southern boy, went to college, could sing. Oh, can the brother sing? Right? He was everything that you want in an American citizen. He comes home and he gets gunned down on his own homeland. He was murdered.
Yes, he was.
He was murdered.
Yes.
So don't fall into the concept that Anthony Hill charged police officer Olson. Anybody who's out here who's a veteran knows what the word charge means. Anthony Hill approached him in a non-violent manner. And even when I spoke to that investigator, without seeing their photos, I was able to obtain some video and look at Anthony Hill's body. If you're charging someone and you're running at them, you're going to have scuffs, you're going to have scrapes, you're going to have something on your knees, on your shoulders. Anthony Hill didn't have any of that. Anthony Hill's body, you saw it on the news, it was laid down perfectly in a prone position as if he was laid down. That's not a position of somebody running at you charging, getting shot twice in the chest. So don't fall into their corruption and their conspiracy and their cover-up. Please don't fall into that. Now, I'm not a member of DeKalb County, but I am for justice.
Yes.
And if I'm fighting in DeKalb County, or if I'm fighting in Catoosa County, if I'm fighting wherever it is,
Yes.
justice is justice, no matter who you are.
That's right.
So I stand here as a veteran in the United States Marine Corps. I stand here as a person who fights for justice. I stand here as a believer, the Destiny Disciples, right? My motorcycle club, right? We ride for Christ. I stand for all of these things. And you all should stand for the same. You should stand for justice, and you should stand for Anthony Hill. Thank you.